So static routes are represented as an S in the routing table. And a static route is a route that's going to be manually configured by an administrator. The administrator is going to type an IP route, and then, for example, 000, oh, sorry, no. Let me try this again. They're going to type an IP route, 192.168.30.0.255.255.255.0. Let's stick with the example right on the slide, right? Let's not make things up today. So that's what it's going to be. And then what's the next top IP address? So how do we get there? We get there via 192.168.10.2. So that's everything that has to be typed in by the administrator. We also have dynamic routing protocols that can be utilized. So instead of having to statically configure all of the networks on our routers, we can rely on dynamic routing protocols to do the work for us. So here we have examples of the RIP routing protocol, the OSPF routing protocol, the EIGRP routing protocol, and we would have learned these networks listed here via those different routing protocols that we have enabled on the device that are going to allow the communication of routing information between routers within the organization. And then lastly, we also have our default routes. Our default routes are going to be routes that pick up every packet that doesn't have an explicit entry in the routing table. You see, here's what's going to happen. We're going to do the longest match rule. We're going to go check out the 30s, the 32s, the 31s, the 30s, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. What happens if you get all the way down to /1 and you still don't have a destination for that packet? So let's pick a packet here. Let's say we are sending a packet to 11.7.6.5. 11.7.6.5. Do we have a /32 entry here that'll work? Nope. What about a 30? Nope. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Nope. But we do have this bottom one of 0000/0. So this was statically configured on this device. A default route can be statically learned. It can be dynamically learned. But the key here is that it has a star. If it has a star, then it's a default route. And as a result of that, notice the /0. What that means is that it's the very last entry that'll be checked. And 000/0 means everything. So if you don't match anything else in the routing table, this default route would automatically send you to the next top IP address of 10.1.1.1. Now, why do we have this? We have this because if there is not an explicit entry in the routing table, then the packet's dropped. That's right. The packet's dropped. That's not like our switches, is it? How does a switch deal with frames that it doesn't have an entry for? Floods it out all ports except the port it came in on. So a router, though, if it doesn't have an entry, it drops it. So instead of dropping it, we can set ourselves up with a default route that says, hey, if you don't know how to get there, Mr. Router, go ahead and just ship it off to 10.1.1.1, and we'll let the next router along the path handle it for us. So these are the different types of routes we could see in our routing table: directly connected, static routes, dynamic routes, default routes, and local routes. Make sure you understand what they are and why they're in our routing tables.